Hello again. Thank you for coming back and watching this second episode. I'm really grateful for all the love and support that I received from the first video that I put out. It took quite a lot for me to actually put it out. I didn't even watch back. I have watched it back now, but before I uploaded it, I didn't watch it back because I know in my mind I would have had a lot going on about, oh, is this okay? Or should I have said this? Or should I have done this? So I just thought, I'm just going to put it out there. So I did. And I've received a lot of love and support for doing that, especially from the people around me, because they know how big it is for me to actually upload and put out these videos. So thank you, because your support really means a lot and it helps me to keep going and wanting to do more. So here I am back again, and today I am just going to be speaking about a question that I keep getting asked, and that question is, how do you not care what others think of you? And I think that's a really good question, because in reality there is a lot of worry or fear or questioning of, oh, if I do this, what will this person say? Or if I do that, what will that person say? Or will they be speaking about me? Or how will this go down? And to a degree, I do care about what people think of me. You know, I'm human and I've been through many experiences that have brought back a lot of projection onto me of the things I'm doing, of people not understanding what I'm doing and being unable to ask me questions, being unable to find out more, to really understand me. Instead, I get a lot of, you shouldn't be doing this, or don't do that, or don't be sharing that. And a lot of it has come from the pregnancy and the way I chose to have an unassisted pregnancy and birth. So I chose not to use the system. It's usually called like unassisted birth or free birth. And of course that is very out of the normal. So it triggered a lot of people. I had a lot of people speaking about me behind my back, and of course I just find out about it. Like, people gossip, that's just what it is. And I think it has affected me, and I do care about what people say, because I know what I'm doing is choosing the best things that fit best to my life, that make me feel the most comfortable, that make me feel the most fulfilled, the choice that feels true to me. So if I look back to the pregnancy and the birth of Aoife, it didn't feel right going through a hospital. I didn't want to be going for checks all the time. I didn't want to be going for tests all the time. I didn't want to do that. And I wanted to birth at home, which of course you can do with a midwife there, but I didn't want a midwife there. I just wanted Charlie and I. And the route to do that for me was to go down the free birth route. And I think something that I've learned is, when someone makes a choice, or when someone shares something that they're doing that maybe you don't understand, or maybe you feel a bit like, why are they doing that? That doesn't make sense. I wouldn't do that. You have to ask questions. Ask questions, because you will usually find out something that you didn't already know. I have even a lot of my friends around me who were very supportive of my choices that I was making, and they would never sort of put me down for the choices I was making, but they didn't understand a lot of it, so they'd ask questions. And by the end of it, even now, they're very much like, oh, I really understand why you chose that. I really understand why you went down that path. And that's enabled people to understand me better. I've always been very open throughout the pregnancy and the birth of sharing what I was going through, sharing my experiences. I last year went on a podcast and shared my story of birth in Aoife, which I will also upload my own version onto this channel at some point, but it is a very, very long story, so I need to have a lot of time to be able to actually go into the details and go through it all and convey it in the right way, because it's very, very special. So yeah, I do care about what people think of me, but the way that I have dealt with it, and when I say dealt with it, I mean the way I have been able to put myself out there more openly, is putting myself out there more openly. Because the more I'm sharing, the more positivity I'm getting back, the more support I'm getting back. If you just share little bits here and there, for example, when I think about Instagram, I would share posts, I would do stuff, but that was very simply me uploading something, me writing a caption, and that would be that. Since I've now been uploading stories of me speaking, of me sharing my experiences, videos, maybe of me hula hooping, which I'm loving right now, it's allowing people to really connect with me and really understand what I'm doing and why I'm doing those things, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to create this channel, because it just gives me an opportunity to speak more freely. Of course, on Instagram, you're very limited to the time, and on here, I can come on and I can speak, and the people who choose to listen and engage and spend their time getting to know me more, this platform's here to do that. So the thing that I found was doing the thing that made me feel uncomfortable, speaking out, being vulnerable, has actually made me feel better and not as insecure about what other people would think. That being said, I did make my Instagram profile private. Probably about 5 months ago, I was sharing a lot about the birth, and I was getting quite a lot of comments from some family members and other people as well about how I shouldn't be sharing my birth story, about how I shouldn't be sharing that I'm sad. And I was going through a really difficult time then, and having those messages coming in, a lot of people that it was coming from weren't even on Instagram anyway, so I knew that it was going from one person to another person to another person, and I just decided, right, I'm making my profile private, because at that moment I couldn't deal with it. I don't necessarily feel like it was a case of I cared what they thought about me, because after having Aoife, it was like, I don't care anymore. I don't care, because I've gone through probably the worst thing, one of the worst things I will ever go through in my life. And people talking about me or whatever they're doing is nothing compared to what I've been through. And if that is the low level of vibration that people are on, then that's okay. But I don't want to be involved in that. So I think it more came from a place of the energy coming into me of people like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? I just couldn't deal with it at that time. So that being said, last week I decided, fuck this. I have a story to share. I have a message that I want to get out there. I want to speak a lot about Aoife and about my choices and my journey, because the more I get my story out there, when I went on this podcast and all the people that have listened to it, there's some people who really didn't understand what I was doing, and they've sat there and listened to this episode, which is 2.5 hours long, and they have now come round and said, wow, like I didn't understand what you were doing and I didn't necessarily agree with it. But now I've listened to your story, I've listened to why you made those choices, it's made me understand you so much more. So I've decided to make my profile public again, and if stuff comes in, it just comes down to me setting stronger boundaries with people that I won't be having that stuff coming into my life. What happens behind my back that I don't know about happens, and that's going to happen in anyone's life. But I don't want it coming into my space. I don't want it coming into my energy field. So that comes down to setting boundaries if things does start to come in again. So I feel like I've got to the place in myself of being okay with sharing vulnerability and being okay with sharing whatever I'm going through, step by step. It's understanding it more myself. It's also understanding how I judge or look or view other people, because whether it's an easy thing to admit or not, we do go through moments of judgment. And the more you become aware of that and the more that you accept that, the more you can get rid of that. And when you get rid of that and you stop looking at other people and you stop like making comments about other people or speaking about things that you don't truly know, the more you then aren't thinking about what other people are thinking of you. It's like a cycle. It's like you're putting that out there, so that's what's coming back. You're putting it out there, so that's what's coming back. If you stop putting it out there, if you stop speaking about others in a way of judgment or just not in the most positive way, without knowing, without questioning, without really finding out the truth from that person, you will then just keep getting it back. So you stop doing it and you'll stop thinking it. And that is a massive thing. I have been very conscious over the last few years of who I'm spending my time with, what I'm spending my time around, what I'm thinking about, what I'm speaking, what's coming out of my mouth. But it's a very, very long journey to unprogram everything you've done for let's just say from when you were like an older child until, say you were 10, until for me, maybe I was 24, 25. That's a good like 14, 15 years of constant programming of doing one thing. You have to work so hard to unprogram that, but you are capable of doing that. If you want to do it, you can put the work in and you can do it. I'm living proof that I've done it. Doesn't mean it's finished, because it's a long, long journey and I've got a lot of work to do still. And it will be forever. Until the day that I physically die, it will be a case of continuously doing this work. And yeah, that's a really, really big thing that has helped me fear or worry about what other people think of me, because I'm not thinking that of other people. So why are they going to think it of me? And if that is the place that they are in and that's what they're choosing to do, that's okay. And you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay that what you're sharing is coming from a place inside you that is really resonant with you. And when you really know that the things that you are doing is for you and is for anyone else, why does it matter what anyone else is saying about you? I always say to people, you come in this world alone and you leave this world alone. So if you are using your time and your energy, I can't share this because, Bob might go and tell Jim and, it'll get round like that. What are you here for? What are you really here for? And that's something that I'm really learning. It still takes me time now. When I turned my profile to public the other day, I was like, oh gosh, like, is anything going to come in? Like, what's going to be shared? And nothing has, and it's absolutely fine. And I'm sure it will be absolutely fine. But those things do come across, and you will find those patterns repeating themselves, and it's becoming aware of it. Meditation is a huge thing for that. Having my journal next to me whilst I'm spending short periods of time meditating, and anything that comes in my mind, just quickly write it down. Just write it down. Just write it down. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. I'm letting it go. I don't want it inside me. I want to let go of it. I want to release it. And it all comes down to awareness. Like it's such a whole. It's like a big circle, and it all links together. And if there's one part of the link that is missing, then it's not going to flow. You've got this smooth circle, but then there's one bit here which is sticking out. Well, that's not then going to be a smooth circle. That's going to give you bumps along the way. And yeah, I think it's it's a massive thing of what other people think of me. For all of us, I've had it just today. I've had someone say to me today, how do you share so amazingly and not care what others think of you? I feel scared to share. And that's really sad. It's really sad that people feel like they can't share what they're feeling or what they're going through out of the fear of what others are saying. So, yeah, they're the main things that I have found to really help me be able to share more openly. And again, it's going to be something that I keep learning. It's going to be something that I keep finding new tools to enable me to develop more and get more confident in myself. It all comes from within. It doesn't really matter to an extent what you're doing on the outside. Of course, these tools are great and they help, but what's going on inside you? How do you feel inside you? That's why it's a massive thing of what are you thinking of other people? What are you speaking about other people? When you see someone walk past that, I don't know, is doing something different or wearing something different, is it just something that happens? Or do you go, oh, look at them? Why are you looking at them? Why is that even coming into your energy? That's something that is quite a natural thing a lot of people do. I know I used to do it. I used to do it so much, but I know that I have stopped doing that. Unless it's like a funny thing, like, oh wow, look at them. And it's like you're speaking really highly about it. It's something that a lot of us do and we're completely unaware of. We don't even realise that we're doing it until we start to become more aware. And once we become more aware, we then realise how much we actually are doing these things. And when you start to let go of those things, that's when the lack of fear, the lack of worry, it's not even coming into you anymore. You don't care what other people think because it's like, fuck them. I'm doing what feels good to me. And when you're putting stuff out there that you're getting so much love and support back from all these people that you don't even know, you've never met in person. They're people that you've met online and you've connected however you've connected, but they are giving you so much love and support. It does not matter what others are saying. If others want to speak about you, you have to be okay with that. It's going to happen. You can't control it. There are some things in life that you just don't have any control over. And I know now, I never used to feel this way, but I now know I would much rather be speaking truthfully, being vulnerable, being able to share my story, to help others, to connect with others, honestly connect with others, not just, oh yeah, I've got loads of friends. No, like truly, truly connect from a really, really deep level that you understand each other so much without even meeting in the physical, that I would much rather do all that and have a few people speak about me rather than stay hidden in my shell, not share what I want to share, not speak about what I want to speak, just because I don't want other people speaking about me. Which, in fact, people probably will still speak about you because that's what happens. So, one thing I will say is, fuck everyone. Fuck anyone that is going to judge you. Fuck anyone that has got anything negative to say about you. Don't allow it into you. Don't let it ruin your vibe. Don't let it kill the journey that you're on of building up and building up and building up and getting better and getting stronger and everything that keeps improving to come down here just because of someone's low vibration. It's really, really not worth it. Trust me, the thoughts can go in your mind. Your mind is very, very powerful and it can tell you so much, which can be positive and it can also not be so positive. So it's down to you to become more aware of that. It's down to you to know, right, this meditation session right now is going to really help me. I am going to focus on, write yourself a question. What's in my mind today? And just sit there with it. Silence. Sit there in silence. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 minutes. See what comes up in your mind. Jot down all the things that's coming up. And you can release it. You can let go of it. And it really, really, really will help. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for coming to watch again if you've got this far in the video. Leave me any comments, anything that you would like me to speak about. I'm very open and if you would like to come and have a video call with me and we can record it and share it out to the world, that would also be amazing. Have my little shadow asleep on me right now. He likes to be on me, which I don't mind. It's very, very nice. But yeah, I hope you all have a lovely day. It's very wet and very grey here. So keep yourself warm, keep yourself energised, and remember, fuck anyone who's got anything negative to say.